Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Planet Home Lending. Secured by private equity, Planet Home Lending might just be the largest wholesale lender you've never heard of. Our competitive pricing opens the door, but we know it's our knowledgeable and accessible account executives who will make Planet Home Lending your first and last look on every loan.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway, and this is created exclusively for Mortgage News Network, brought to you by Planet Home Lending. Great correspondent rates and minimal overlays, so check them out. So last week we did get the jobs number, and the jobs number was better than anticipated, but you know what? Hourly earnings decreased, meaning people that were earning money on an hourly basis dropped, with earnings increases that were averaging 2.7% down to 2.5%. So how do we get the best number in unemployment at 4.4%, the best number that we have seen since November of 07, and still see wages decrease? Well, that's what the market was wondering. So you'd have to think, if the labor market's getting very tight, where only 4.4% of people are unemployed, how are hourly earnings decreasing? In a tight market, shouldn't people be being paid more to entice them, keep them, get them to be employed? Well, it appears that by looking at this, a lot of the jobs that are being created are not the higher paying jobs, but the lower paying jobs. That explains the decrease in hourly earnings. One of the reasons why the bond market did pretty well, because saying, hey, look, this is not something that's inflationary. This is not necessarily speaking to a very strong job market. It's a job market that's transitioning from higher paying jobs to more lower paying jobs. Stay tuned, should be an interesting story. Now, you know, interest rates remain pretty stable, but if you take a look at the 10-year Treasury, remember we said it was going to hit that 2.385 after hitting 2.18. Well, it hit 2.18. It's on its way up there. And now that interest rates have moved up a little bit, they're still great. And especially if the Fed decides to stop purchasing mortgage-backed securities later on this year, interest rates will move up. Once again, still good levels, but higher than they were. I think it's time to think about adjustable rate mortgages. Look, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, only 8% of all applications were on ARMs, and that covers the full gamut of ARMs. When you think about 92% of people taking fixed rates, why is that? A lot of it is because they want to feel safe. But you know what? Adjustables can be a great option. Let me give you a quick example. And you can really beat your competition and help open your customers' eyes. Just think about it this way. If you were to take a 7-year adjustable, now, for the most part, 7-year adjustables are going to be cheaper than a 30-year fixed. And what I'm seeing is anywhere between, on average, 0.5% cheaper to 1% cheaper, depending on the lender. So given that, let's say if they're 0.75% cheaper or so on average, you could choose a 7-year adjustable and save a significant sum of money. Now, if you total that up over the 7-year period, those first 84 months, it's a guaranteed savings. And what's really great about it is that it's a guarantee that individuals will amass that amount of savings that is a 100% benefit that they will receive. The problem is that what happens after the 7 years? And that's what everybody worries about. You know, oh, I'm worried about year 8, year 9, year 10. What if interest rates go sky high? Well, first of all, let's assume that interest rates do nothing but go up and hit the caps that are on that mortgage. Is it still a bad choice to take an adjustable? Because you're still ahead for the first 7 years. So year 8, even in the worst case, would be a give back of some of those savings. Year 9, same thing. Year 10, same thing. Where is the point of break even? If you were to do something very interesting and say, look, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, you were thinking about taking the fixed rate anyway, instead of taking the fixed rate, why don't you make the fixed rate payment you were going to make? You were comfortable making it anyway, but choose the adjustable rate mortgage. And by doing so, you put down an additional amount of principal, accelerating the amortization and paying that loan off sooner. At the end of 7 years, you paid that loan off quite a bit, so that when it's time to adjust, it's adjusting, remember, on the remaining principal balance. So even if the rate goes up, the payment may actually go down. And in that case, if you were to take a look, even in the worst case scenarios, it's going to be between 10 and 12 years before a fixed rate might be better than an adjustable. Now, I'm not saying a fixed couldn't be a better choice. And I'm not saying even emotionally a fixed rate shouldn't be a better choice. But if we explain this to our customers, it may give them an option. And hey, think about it. When was the last client that you saw that lived in the same home with that same mortgage, so not moving and not refinancing for 10 to 12 years? You know what the chances are, according to the National Association of Realtors and Mortgage Bankers Association? Around 5% if it's going to be 12 years, about 8% if it's going to be 10 years. So think about this. You have 92% of the people taking fixed rates today, which means they're betting that they're going to fall into that 5 to 8% of people that are going to be in the same home with the same mortgage for longer than 10 to 12 years. Sometimes the math doesn't make sense there. And look, even if your customer takes the fixed rate, I think they'll appreciate at least you giving them this opportunity to make the evaluation. Now look, at MBS Highway, this is the kind of stuff we do every day. We've got calculators that do this automatically right from your phone to figure this out for you. There's so many tools that we have at point of sale. Don't you need these right now? I mean, shouldn't you be a better resource to your customers in every single way? And in addition, don't you want to beat out your competition? If refinances are slowing and going to slow more, shouldn't you be the expert in getting more purchase transactions? Ways to do it. Use MBS Highway. If you haven't signed up already, go ahead and take us up on a free trial and check it out. Hope you guys have a great day. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Feel the difference of what a decentralized operation makes. With account executives in your backyard and in your office, not hidden in a call center, we know what you and your borrower desires based on your market, and will be in your office helping you through every step of the way. Those are just a few of the differences our clients see every day with Planet Home Lending Wholesale.
This is Mortgage News Network.